Shrikant, how long does it take to make a chicken sandwich?
15 minutes.
That's because 8 billion people in the world are helping you to make it. Try to make it yourself and it will take 6 months. It will cost $1,500. That's more than ₹1,00,000.
What?
Forget that. Try to make a single toast and it will take you 9 months and cost more than 1,100 pounds.
A toast like bread in the toaster.
Yes.
1100 pounds.
Yes, today's episode is about how this entire world is connected and everything we do, every little simple thing we use requires contributions from almost all the countries of the world. We will talk about what it takes to make one pencil. We will talk about the guy who tried to make a chicken sandwich from scratch and took 6 months and $1,500, and the guy who made a toaster by himself and took 9 months. And looking into this will teach us about interdependence, about economics, about capitalism, about communism, and how it takes the whole world to make you your morning chai.
Wow. I admit I have thought about it, but haven't really thought about it,
Nobody really thinks about it. And the best way to understand it is by reading an essay called I Pencil, written by Leonard Read, an economist, in 1958.
Oh.
It's a brilliant essay which gives you an idea of what it takes to make one simple pencil like this.
Okay.
No single person in the world knows how to make this simple pencil.
That's true.
Right? It seems trivial, but it has so many different parts and requires so much technology to make that it is mind-blowing.
Okay.
Let's go through it step by step. This essay was written in the US, so there will be US specific references, but the same concept will apply to a pencil made anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with the wood of this pencil.
Okay.
It came from trees in Oregon.
Okay.
For that, trees had to be felled. You had to use saws, which use iron. You needed trucks to transport the logs. You needed mills to cut the logs into little slivers. Those needed steel. Those needed motors. You needed rope, hemp to tie things together. The logs now come to a mill in California. In California, there are big machines which cut the logs into thin slivers for the pencil, half this thickness.
Okay.
Then these slivers of wood have to be dried in a kiln because natural wood cannot be used in a pencil like this.
It's very wet. Yeah.
Correct. See this color for the wood?
Oh.
It is tinted. For some reason, just having the natural wood doesn't look really nice. Okay.
I never thought about it, but that is actually not a natural wood color, is it?
No, it is not. So it is dried in a kiln, then it is tinted, then it is waxed, then it is dried again. Imagine how much expertise goes into just getting the right color wood and the right consistency wood. We haven't even started making the pencil now.
Yeah, we are still on the outside of the pencil, on the wood of the pencil.
Correct. Now these slats of wood move to another factory.
Okay.
In this factory, this is the pencil making factory. You take one slat of wood and in that there is one machine which makes a groove
for the lead to go in.
For the lead to go. Then the lead, which is actually graphite, that goes, and then a second slat with a similar groove goes on top, and you basically make a graphite sandwich.
Okay. Wait, where does the graphite come from?
Oh yes, we were in California, but the graphite has come from Sri Lanka and it is mixed with clay from Mississippi.
Okay then.
Right? Because just graphite by itself is not going to be a very good pencil.
Yeah, because graphite is very soft as a material and it needs to be hardened with something which I'm guessing is the clay and then probably baked or something?
No. First there has to be ammonium hydroxide in it.
Okay.
Then there has to be wetting agents. Otherwise it's too dry and it'll just crumble.
Okay.
So there is something called sulfonated tallow.
Sulfonated
It
tallow.
is animal fats treated with sulfuric acid. All of this mixture is then extruded like noodles.
Okay.
And this long thing is baked for hours at 1000 degrees centigrade. Then you add candelilla wax from Mexico. To add strength and smoothness to this lead made of graphite. Once we have the graphite sandwich, Now
Hmm.
we need this shiny, nice color on top.
Yeah.
That is lacquer mixed with color,
Okay.
and it is 6 coats of that.
Okay.
Castor bean growers and
Huh.
refiners of castor oil get involved in this process. And just to make the lacquer color blue requires the skill of more people than you can name.
Okay.
So far, we haven't even come to the labeling yet.
Okay.
This consists of a film
Hmm.
formed by chemicals that I don't even know and I have no idea. But basically, that labeling goes on top.
Okay.
Now, you must have seen pencils where there is an eraser on top.
Yeah.
And there is a little metal thing around it called the ferrule.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. The metal is brass, which is zinc and copper, which comes from mine, and mining is a whole different thing.
It's an entirely different industry.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then there are black nickel rings there. Why? I mean, I'm not even going to get into that. Forget it. Now let's come to the eraser.
Huh.
What is that?
It's rubber.
No, it is not rubber. Rubber doesn't actually do a very good job of rubbing.
Okay.
It is called the plug in the industry.
Okay.
And it is made of a material called factice.
Factice.
Yeah, it's a rubber-like product made by reacting rapeseed oil from Indonesia with sulfur chloride.
Wow. Okay.
In that, there is some rubber used for binding purposes.
Okay.
Then many vulcanizing and accelerating agents are added to it.
Huh.
Then pumice is added to it.
Pumice.
Pumice is volcanic stone which you powder,
Yeah.
and that gives the abrasive quality which will actually do the erasing. Would you like to guess where that comes from?
I am guessing from some place where volcanoes are active. So either Iceland, Italy. There you go.
Yeah. So pumice comes from Italy,
Hmm.
and also it will usually have a nice color.
Yeah.
That comes from cadmium sulfide. Okay.
Okay.
Nobody knows how to do all of these things.
Of course.
The guy running the pencil company has no clue. Basically, nobody does. People from so many different countries of the world, and we haven't even talked about what they need to produce the stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, we started with Oregon, then went to California, and suddenly there were things coming in from different countries, from Sri Lanka, from Mexico, from
Correct.
Italy, from I don't even know what other countries where zinc and copper are mined for that brass ferrule.
Funny thing is that all these people who worked to get you this pencil, none of them wanted a pencil.
True.
Some of them have never seen or never used a pencil in their entire life.
Okay.
Each person who worked on this had some tiny bit of know-how,
Yeah.
some tiny skill, and they exchanged it in return for something they wanted, usually money.
Yeah.
The other thing is, no single person is in charge.
True.
The person who runs the pencil factory cannot go to the graphite factory and start giving orders to the people working there.
Yeah.
Right? They would get kicked out.
Yeah.
No military enforced the orders all over the world.
True.
What true? There were no orders given.
Yeah, actually.
All of this happened. People from so many different lands, people with so many different ideas about what to do, with so many different ideologies, so many different religions, people who hate each other worked together to make this pencil.
Yeah, that's true.
Communist Russia tried to have central planning, and it was a complete disaster because no central planner can know all the little details of doing this efficiently.
That is true. Right? That is true. That makes me wonder, then how did all of this even come together? How did it happen?
Milton Friedman has the answer. How did it happen? Adam Smith gave us the answer 200 years ago.
Okay.
This is called the invisible hand
of the market.
Free trade, free markets.
Okay.
Right? And this is a simple thing.
Yeah.
Right? Try to imagine something far more complex, like your mobile phone.
Yeah.
Right? Or this whole episode.
Yeah.
It takes much more complexity, many more people, and everybody needs to work together.
Yeah, that is true. But then it makes me wonder, some of these things that moved almost halfway across the world, like graphite from Sri Lanka or pumice from Italy, were they really necessary? Couldn't you find something local? Why did you have to go all across the world?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Right? We are here in Pune.
Yeah.
Okay? And you want apples.
Yeah.
which is cheaper, apples that come from Kashmir or apples that come from New Zealand?
Ooh, trick question.
Yeah.
We have done an episode on this before, and
Yes.
you will find a detailed answer in that episode. But the answer is not the apples from Kashmir.
Yes.
The apples from New Zealand.
Modern transport
Yeah.
is so efficient that moving things halfway across the world costs very, very, very little, even in terms of the environment and carbon and all of that. And it is less than 5% or 10% of the cost of the ultimate thing, right?
Yes.
The specialization of different parts, different people in different countries, and the economies of scale they get, that beats any advantage you get from going local. Okay.
Yeah.
Rubber bands that we import all the way from Malaysia would be significantly cheaper than local made rubber band.
But all of this involves manufacturing, which is complex in itself, which anyways requires a lot of cooperation and coordination. Let's talk about the chicken sandwich example that you spoke about. Chicken sandwich is, well, take chicken, take bread, make sandwich.
Correct. So there is a guy called Andy George, host of How to Make Everything. He decided to make a chicken sandwich from scratch.
Okay.
Fine, that involves raising a chicken. That's fine. Okay. But it also requires some veggies. So he had to make an own garden.
Yeah.
It requires cheese. So he had to go figure out how to make cheese, get a cow, milk, all of that.
So he went through all of that.
I'll tell you the difficult part.
Yeah.
Turning ocean water into salt. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He did the whole thing. It cost $1,500, more than ₹1,00,000. It took him 6 months of his life. And at the end of it, the chicken sandwich tasted.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 months of your life, more than ₹1,00,000 for not bad. Let's take something simpler. You have to make toast. You don't have to make bread. You already are given a bread slice and you have to toast it. You need a toaster.
Yes, I do.
So a guy called Tom Thwaites decided to make a toaster from scratch. Okay. He went and studied a normal toaster and he figured out that it has 404 different parts made of 100 different materials.
Okay.
But he also decided that these people are all being fancy schmancy. I don't need all of that. And he figured out that he could make a toaster from just 5 materials.
Okay.
Iron for the grill. Copper for the electrical wires and the plug.
Correct.
Plastic for casing the toaster and for insulation of the wire and for the plug itself.
Correct.
Nickel, which is the heating element.
Right.
Okay. And mica, the heating element has to be wound around something.
Insulation
5
plus,
materials, right? How do you make metal at home? Okay.
You don't?
Yeah, you are not allowed to use all the modern machinery in mines. He had to go around searching until he found a 15th century book on how to make iron from ore.
Okay.
He also discovered that plastic is almost impossible to make from scratch. Just getting a barrel of oil was difficult enough, but he did something. Okay, take a look at the image and you will find that his plastic was terrible.
Of course.
And at the end of this, his toaster worked once and then conked off.
Obviously. I didn't imagine he would actually go around making those materials. Like, I assumed he would take a tawa from somewhere and, or an induction plate, plug it in and make toast on it.
Yeah. See, that is the problem. Anything you think of, you just take for granted the hundreds and thousands of things that modern technology, modern civilization makes available to you and makes them available for so cheap.
Yeah.
Okay.
But all of this seems overcomplicated. I mean, there was no need to go that far into making the toaster and whatnot.
How about something simpler?
Okay.
How about just thanking everyone who made something simple happen for you?
Like what?
Let me tell you the story of A.J. Jacobs.
Okay.
He had a very nice ritual, like many people do, of saying thanks at the end of the day for various good things that happened to him.
Very nice.
With his family.
Very nice.
One day, his son told him, but dad, those people can't hear you.
Smart son.
Jacobs took it seriously.
Okay.
Then he decided to thank everybody involved in the cup of coffee he bought that morning.
Okay.
This project, by the way, it became a big project. It took him 6 months and he ended up having to thank 1,000 people and traveling to God knows what all countries. Okay, let's just
Okay.
go through a few simple examples. Okay,
Okay.
simple. First, he went and he thanked the barista, right?
Yeah.
Initially, she was taken aback. It's like, okay, what is going on here?
We
then-
don't really thank our customer service people. No, they are just there to serve us.
That's exactly what she said. She said, forget that. She said, most people don't even notice me. They treat me as if I'm a vending machine. They're like on their phone and they take their coffee like this without even looking up.
Oh,
right?
that's so sad.
And he realized that he probably does this. And from that day onwards, he said, you know what? I'm going to notice everybody. I'm going to acknowledge them as like real human beings. Right?
That's nice.
He also thanked the person who chooses the coffee.
Okay.
This is a guy who travels to South America, Africa, Asia, and he's an expert in the smell and aroma and which beans and so on, right?
Okay.
He thanked the van driver who delivers the coffee beans.
Okay.
He decided that he's not going to go and thank everybody who was involved in making the van and involved in making the road. That would be never ending.
Yeah, very literally never ending.
He thanked the designer of the cup of coffee.
What's different about a cup of coffee? It's just
Forget the cup. Let me just talk about the lid on the cup.
it's just a lid.
No, it's not just a lid. Okay. The design of the lid has been perfected over 50 years. Okay. One example, a badly designed lid will block the aroma of the coffee from reaching your nose, and most of the taste of any food is from the aroma. So your coffee will taste horrible unless the lid allows the aroma to reach your nose. Okay. There are so many other things in the design of the lid. He went and found a guy called Doug Fleming, who he calls the Elon Musk of cup tops.
Okay.
Modern things have so many little details that somebody spent a lifetime perfecting,
Yeah.
and we just take them for granted. We don't even think about it. Let me show you this brilliant XKCD. Pause the video and take a look at it in detail. So this experience of AJ Jacobs led to a bunch of realizations for him, which are an excellent summary for this whole episode. Okay, let me go through some of those, right?
Okay.
Going through the details of any one simple thing of how everything works and how many people have contributed to it makes you understand how the world works, how complex it is, how everything fits together, and how free markets make this happen.
Yeah.
It makes you mindful of the large number of things that go right every day, every minute, every second. Okay?
Yeah.
That leads to gratitude for how everybody is working together, right? It's a good vaccination against all the tribalism and all the factionalism and all the nationalism that is going on, right?
Yeah.
All of that happens in the news. In real life, everybody is cooperating to make a pencil for you. It also makes you mindful of the small number of things that don't go right or which can be improved. When you talk to these people, when you interact with them, you understand the issues they're facing, and then you feel like doing something, right?
True.
It led AJ Jacobs to start donating to charities, something that he always thought about but never really got through to doing, right? Forget charity and donation, right? Just small gestures like being nice to the people who are serving you, right?
Yeah.
Mostly, it is a mindset, right? It is a refusal to take things for granted.
Yeah.
It is an acknowledgement that we are all in this together. We are all working together, except the political leaders and news media.
All right, that's a very spicy end to the summary, but he is right. We need to be more mindful of the people around us. We need to be more mindful of the things we use in our daily lives and where they come from, how they are made, and how they reach us. I hope that this episode truly drives home the point of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is a family, because it is this family that has come together to help us bring this episode to you, very literally. And our gratitude goes out to this entire family for helping us bring this episode to you. And by us, we mean Shrikant, Naveen, FutureIQ, and Video School.
If you like this episode, check out our other episode, You Don't Know Anything, The Illusion of Explanatory Depth.